everyone. This is Sage from Fandom City, and you're tuning in to one of our YouTube videos. That's right, we're back with another update on Halloween Kills. That's right, the Halloween movie set to be released in October 2020. And today we have a huge rumor for all of you. Now, let's make sure we have this right. We are not confirming this to be factual. That's why it's called a rumor. We're not saying this is definitively happening. It's a rumor. We think there's at least a good chance of it happening, or else we wouldn't be doing a video on it. First of all, I want to apologize. This video should have been up yesterday. If you listened to our Sheriff Brackett video, then you know that this should have been uploaded yesterday. This video here. Life happens, and we couldn't get around to it, and we were also checking in with our source one last time. Contrary to popular belief, you do not need to live in Los Angeles to have sources in the industry. I know people. My guy next door probably knows people in industries. The guy 4 blocks from here who's eating, 5-day-old pizza in his mom's basement, he probably knows people. We all know people. It's just a matter of how well connected you are. We're not here to say that we're the most connected. We're very small time. We're rebranding and growing, and I thought this would be a fun little video to put the rumor out there and speculate. Hopefully this generates a little bit of buzz. For the sake of protecting our source, we are going to call our source Bob Sacamano. Yeah, that's right. Bob Sacamano from Seinfeld. That's a Seinfeld reference. It's gold, baby. Gold. Anyway, so Bobby here, if that is his real name, which it is not, has a huge rumor about a casting in Halloween Kills. First of all, Bobby has had a great track record with us. If you listen to some of our videos when we were the Fandom Cantina, we covered some of this stuff, whether it was on the video or on the podcast. You can search for that on our old feeds. He knew stuff like Halloween 2018 would be debuting at TIFF long before it was announced. He also knew that there was breathing at the end of the credits long before it debuted at TIFF. He knew about the Season of the Witch costumes long before the trailer or the pictures leaked. And Bobby also knew that what the original ending for Halloween 2018 was prior to them reshooting it. So he's been, he and or she has been accurate quite a bit. But in fairness, because we want to be blunt with our audience, they've gotten some things wrong too, such as 80% of The Last Jedi. I remember passing along the information I got from this source with The Last Jedi to a fellow YouTuber, and felt stupid when it was 80% wrong. That said, it might have been a better movie if it ended up the way that we heard. Our source was incorrect about Annie having a brief cameo in Halloween 2018. And our source was also wrong about Danny McBride having a cameo. So while they've gotten a lot right, they've gotten some things wrong. It's good to keep that in mind so you don't go out there posting, confirmed, this casting is happening. So let's get right to it. We heard Tommy Doyle was coming back for Halloween Kills. We heard from multiple sources, mainly Jeff Snyder at Collider and the Snyder Cut podcast, that they had reached out to Paul Rudd about reprising his role. That makes sense. Danny McBride and Paul Rudd know each other pretty well. It might not make sense from timeline-wise, because then you're saying, oh, well, you're taking one actor from a different timeline, putting them in this timeline. Either way, it looks like that didn't pan out, at least according to our source. And that's too bad. I would have liked Paul Rudd back. But apparently his Ghostbusters filming is going to prevent that from happening. We've seen numerous people throwing Brian Andrews' name out there, who is the original Tommy Doyle. And, hey, for purists and people that like, a lot of things that are original, great. From an acting standpoint, I stand in the category of Bryan Andrews has no business being in a role of this magnitude, because if they were trying to get Paul Rudd, it's probably a fair-sized role. And I don't think you can have someone who hasn't acted in quite a while in a role like that. Not to say he couldn't do it for very well, he very well could be able to do it and make me eat my words. But let's get to the moment that you've all been waiting for. And that is, we have heard from our source that Tommy Doyle very well could be played by, and apparently negotiations are ongoing, by Jake Gyllenhaal. Now, before you laugh your way, to your bathroom, keep a few things in mind here. This is just a rumor. It may not happen. You might be sitting there saying, well, why is an A-lister like Jake Gyllenhaal going to participate in this Halloween Kills movie? There's a few reasons he might. Number one, he was kind of the one that convinced Jamie Lee Curtis to do this again by taking David Gordon Green's phone call. Jamie Lee Curtis and Jake Gyllenhaal are extremely close. David Gordon Green and Jake Gyllenhaal have worked together in the past and are very close. So, is our source just taking those two things and throwing it out there? I don't think so. I think where there's smoke, there's fire. And that this, at the very least, has been talked about. These movies don't take too long to shoot, which is why I was kind of curious as to how Paul Rudd couldn't work it out. But Jake Gyllenhaal as Tommy Doyle, for me personally, I absolutely love Jake Gyllenhaal. He is probably in my top 10 or top 15 favorite actors. He has grown on me so much. Loved him in Spider-Man Far From Home this year. He was fantastic. The way he flipped on a dime. I'll let you guys figure that out for yourselves if you haven't seen it. He's a tremendous talent, and I think whenever you're adding talent to a project, things can only get better. Now, whether this happens or not, who knows? You never know with this sort of thing. But Jake Gyllenhaal in Halloween Kills, what do you guys think? Do you want Jake Gyllenhaal to be Tommy Doyle, or do you have someone else in mind to be Tommy Doyle? Why don't you go down into the comment section below and let us know? We're a growing YouTube channel, so we do take time to reply to every message we can. Let us know what you think. Also, don't forget to click the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. That helps us out tremendously, and if you turn on the notifications, you will be notified when all of our new content comes out, which is important. A little later tonight on Mixlr, www.mixlr.com/fandom-city, you can hear the Fandom City pod, and we have Kenobi news, Spider-Man news, Matrix 4 news, and James Bond No Time to Die news. So we're really excited to get to all that. You can check us out on Facebook, Fandom City, in the search bar, and you'll be able to find us. Or you can check out our Halloween page, Halloween Kills 2020. Go like the page and help build the community there. If you have your own Halloween material that you'd like to share, we'd love to share it for you. Follow us on Twitter at Fandom City Pod, FandomCityPod. Trying to build up that Twitter. Restarting from ground up isn't easy. That's also the same for our Instagram, Fandom City Pod. And you can listen to our 2 podcasts at the moment. There might be more coming, but Fandom City Pod or Sage's Cantina. You can find us on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, and more. And we'll see you next time.